Okay, we got a giant lizard. Yep, it's a big lizard. That's what it is. Stay away from my wind power plant, please. Please stay away from my garbage dump. God damn you. Oh, he's eating. He's eating the garbage. He's eating the garbage. He loves it. He's sucking it down. Okay. Eat my garbage, please. Good. Excellent. Thank you for eating my garbage. Go away now. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. Thanks for eating my garbage. Locals reported it as disgusting. Hello everyone, my name is Bob, and we're playing SimCity. We are not, however, playing this city. This is a city I've already done. Actually, it's part of a region that I'm working on that's fairly well along, as you can see. But I want to show you this before we go and make ourselves a new city right quick. Sort of what I've been doing here. My idea for this city to start out with was basically a city heavily invested in commercial and not so much industrial. This little square here is all the industrial we got, and the rest of it is all commercial and residential. So it's supplying a lot of the commercial and residential needs of the region. Also have a expo center, which is a very cool thing because it gives you money. On the Globe Theater, which is a very cool thing because it gives you money. We got horrible traffic problems and so on. As you can see, the traffic problems are an issue. No-cost motel, and its neighbors, the seedy motel, the motel, and the also seedy motel. This is a area of seedy motels because it's got the garbage dump over here with the incinerators burning garbage. But it's pretty well developed. We got a lot of high-rise commercial and residential properties, fairly high wealth. However, one thing that the first thing that caused me to, well, let me back up. The first thing that caused me to expand into the region was there's just no way to fit enough residential in here to supply, workers and stuff. So I made a suburb, and then I realized I had no room to put a university. I've got a elementary school, grammar school, high school, but no real room if I want to also have a city. No real room for a university. So I actually built a separate town for the university. Let's go take a look at it. Okay, well, my original plan for this city, Oxford, simply a place to put my university. I figured I'd put a train station here, bring students in from the big city, and basically just a place to have my university. But I found that once I got some university students going on, that all my noise, all my industrial turned into this high-tech stuff, which is fairly profitable. And then I got a processor back here, which unfortunately is sidelined because of lack of alloy. Trade depot to try to provide some of that alloy. Since I apparently couldn't get a hold of any alloy, I actually had to turn my second city that I was going to use as a suburb, turn that into a big ore mining thing, and that's all in progress. None of this makes sense, does it? No. Maybe a monster will come by. Yeah, here's my number 2 city, or number 2 as far as when I founded it. Basically wanted it to be a suburb of the big city, but it really turned into a mining city, pretty much. Now I got all these mines here. I got these trade depots so I can sell my coal and stuff, and the metals HQ, which I'm trying to get to an upgrade so I can start smelting and start getting Oxford the alloy it needs. But anyway, we're getting into the woods here. See all this high-tech shit. It even says right there, high-tech. There's another train station. Okay, well, with no further ado, we won't linger on this. We'll make a new city. Now I've got sending my sewage from here to the big city because they got lots of sewage treatment, and I don't want to waste money on sewage treatment when I really just want to get these mines going, get this upgraded, and get the smelting going on. Okay, all that's just much more than you ever wanted to know, isn't it? That looks reasonable. Let's play with that. There's been a lot of bad press about SimCity, and partly deserved because their launch was a disaster area. Servers melted down to a big pastel-colored pile of Max's silicon goo. They botched the launch. There's no question about that. But every game you're ever going to have is going to have some problem with it. I was playing SimCity 4 before I got this a little bit, just to have something to tide me over, and it would crash and it would lose data, and so every game's got a problem. There's also been a lot said about the fact that while SimCity has hitherto been a single-player game, that this game has always-on necessity. I have to always be on the internet in order to play it. You can't play it without being on Max's servers. Sorry. I mean that irritates me as well, because I've got a wireless connection and it doesn't always work. So I mean that is a legitimate source of complaint. But unlike all previous SimCities, with this one, at least having multiple cities is a necessity. And most people in real life who actually have like jobs and stuff aren't going to have the amount of time it takes to build up 6 or 12 cities. So really, for this game, there's something to be said for the fact that it is a game that almost requires the having it be always on. because unless you really have the time to make 12 cities in a region or whatever, you're not going to explore all the things that this game has to offer. You're simply not going to, and most people don't have the time for that. And most people would, like to have a little, social interaction probably with their games, or at least, although a lot of times people don't think of that as being a SimCity thing. And also the multiplayer is in a sense sort of pseudo multiplayer, but I've had a fairly small number of problems thus far with the game, and I like it. If the always-on thing is an issue for you, then don't get it, because it is definitely going to be a fact of life in this game. But I really have been enjoying it so far. So, okay, let's claim this city. And it's kind of presumptuous for me to do a tutorial on SimCity when I've just got it yesterday. Let's call this not a tutorial, but sharing the things that I have discovered are useful. There's many things that I don't know about this game. Oh look, it's Mickey Mouse. Check that out. Or something. A little pattern. So it would be presumptuous for me to call this a tutorial, but it is a sharing of what I've learned thus far, put it that way. Let's go ahead and hit pause. Now first thing I'm going to do is look for the wind, because you're going to have some stinky stuff, and that stinky stuff is going to cause air pollution, and you might as well have the place where you're going to put that all sorted out ahead of time. Looking for the wind. Okay. Wind is blowing over that way. Excuse me. So what I'll do is I'll just run a little dirt road sort of along the edge here, and over there, and put all my sticky stuff over there, so it could blow off into the river or onto neighboring territories. Yeah. And I do usually start out with dirt roads, so one thing you need to be thinking about, though, is where you're going to place your avenues, because you're going to probably want to allocate room for that sort of thing, because avenues are bigger than roads. You can upgrade roads all the way to high density, even these dirt roads, but you can't upgrade them to avenues. So. Okay, and just to get that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and put in a... Okay. Alright. Thank you very much. Wind power, it's sort of... I use it to start out with because it's cheap to build, but you will have to upgrade it a lot. So very often I wind up changing over to coal later on, but we use wind power just to start off with. Okay. And one thing I want to be thinking about ahead of time is where am I going to stick my avenues, because I want to make sure that I'm leaving enough room to get the avenues in. So what I might do is get me some dirt roads which are pretty cheap, and sort of trace out at least what the area of my first avenue is not going to, where my first avenue is going to be. Now I'm not going to be placing an avenue anytime soon because they're expensive. So I'll just allocate this big old chunk of land here. You can use your Q and E keys to rotate. I'm just going to allocate this big old chunk of land for future avenues. Why are you being squirrely? We'll have kind of a T-shaped avenue structure going on here. What's your issue? I just turned off guides there just because it was forcing me to go in a direction I didn't want to go. Alright, now I'm using up a lot of my money here, but yeah, that's going to be the area that's going to be at some point in time my avenues. I'm using up a lot of money here, but zoning, unlike previous SimCities, doesn't cost you anything. So now, when I first started out, I tried to go with the curvy roads and stuff. Generally speaking, though, you're better off to stick with square grids because, yes, I see. Thank you very much. You're better off going with square grids because otherwise, some of your buildings won't be able to reach maximum density. So there's that. Now over here, I'm going to put my industrial. Because that's where the wind is pointing, and so it'll blow all the smoke off into the river and kill all the fishies. And that's what we want. Dead fishies all around. Let's plop another road here. Turn my gods back on. And they're wanting water. Let's see. Let's see what our water resources. One thing you do want to do, unfortunately, our best place for industrials is sort of also the best place for water. But there's a decent place over here too. This should be fine. Strangely enough, they want electricity more than they want water at first, because they're little electric people and not real people. Because if they're real people, they wouldn't be able to live very long without water. We're going to go ahead and dezone this. This is too close to the industrial anyway. And we'll zone this commercial. And we wait. It's going to take a little while, so I will let you know when something interesting happens.